What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is predictions time for the Rugby World Cup warm-ups that are taking place this weekend in what should be very interesting contests. First up, we have a rematch of what was quite an appalling game from Scotland when they took on France in France last weekend. It was a game that I had predicted, but I also thought that Scotland would show a bit more heart and soul within the game. They just were nowhere. They didn't look good. They didn't look strong. And for that, I'm expecting big things or better things from Scotland as they approach this weekend. It is a big turning point that they need to do before this Rugby World Cup. If they do not succeed tomorrow, in the big game, I'm going to be very concerned for them and their campaign. Because shit could happen, surprises could happen. We know what we've seen in past World Cups where upsets have occurred, and Scotland really need to catch a wake up and play quality rugby. Now, if you watched yesterday's video where I spoke about the odds are constantly changing for the Rugby World Cup, meaning that one week we had England beating Wales, breaking the streak. Then the next week, Wales winning. Then we had Australia thump the All Blacks with the 14 men. Then we had the All Blacks thump the Wallabies. Then South Africa dominating Argentina. Then Argentina coming home to South Africa and giving us a run for their money, almost stealing it at the end. So it just shows the odds, and that's what I'm hoping to see from Scotland this weekend. A total transformation and turnaround as they approach this big game. Because if they don't do that, they are going to see their asses in the Rugby World Cup. They got the team, they got the quality of players. They just need to progress and show the strength of what they are made of. They got great players. They got historic players in there that can take them on the way. And they just need to settle down, knuckle down, and focus on what's important, and that is winning this big game or getting close. As for France, great performance from them last week. They looked electric. They looked pumped. They looked passionate. One thing's for sure, they shocked us. I think a lot of us. I mean, I wasn't predicting France to really do as well as they did, and it was truly, truly amazing. I mean, 32-3, a great, great win for them last weekend. It's something that they really needed to do going into it, and it's going to be a cracker this weekend. I think we're going to see a lot of passion going out from both teams, because remember, France also want to leave on a statement. They want to tell the world, all right, we're not just a one-match fluke. We actually can do this. We can progress. We can develop. We can produce the goods when we need to. So it's going to be a very, very interesting result, and I'm excited to see what could happen. So to date, Scotland and France have contested a total of 94 rugby test matches since their first meeting in 1910, which is a hell of a long time ago. France have won 55 of those matches, while Scotland have won only 36. There have also been 3 drawn matches between these two sides. So the result is interesting, but Scotland have also shown improvement, shown development, whereas France won a slide, but now they seem to be coming back up just at the right time before the Rugby World Cup. So as for predictions going into this game this weekend, it's going to be tough. You have Murrayfield. I mean, come on, the history within Murrayfield is massive. The electricity within the crowd is huge. It is passionate. It is pumped. Will we see a 32-3 result again? I highly doubt it. Will we see a thumping? Nope. I think we're going to see a very close contest. A different team, a different Scottish team, a different French team, or similar French team, but you know what I mean, bringing out that much more passion that they did last week because they're now away from home. So for this weekend, I am going to go with another win for France, and I hope I'm wrong because I want to see Scotland win and pick up a good win. I really mean that. So I think France will win by 5 points. It's going to be it's going to be a lot closer, and I think the first half and second half start are going to be the deciding factors of how this game is going to play out. But then the last minute, I think Scotland might just tire out and France will win. But again, as I said before, I hope I'm wrong. I want to see Scotland win. I want to see a good win. France did well last weekend, but I want to see what we've been seeing this whole international during this whole international rugby games in this past couple of weeks is a win here and a win here, or win and a loss, win and a loss. That's what I want to see. So I'm hoping for a fight back from Scotland to predict us and to make this tournament even more confusing to predict than it already is. So this match, I'm going France to win by 5, but I hope I'm wrong. The second big game of the weekend is the one I'm looking forward to. And if you haven't heard already, make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you can catch me live streaming this game, give you my live reactions of what's happening in the game, chatting to you guys, answering questions, interacting with you. I did it last week for the first time, and I'm doing it again because of the success it received on those 3 streams. So make sure you are subscribed. I'm flying in from Joburg to PE to my home Saturday, so I'm hoping I'm in time, but I will schedule it so I'm ready. So if I'm late, I'm late, but I will be there to chat and stream with you guys. So make sure you are subscribed for that one. As for France-Scotland, I will see how things go, but no promises, as I'm going to be buggered after this business trip. So enough about that, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Now, England beat Wales, broke a streak, did wonders. Then they went on and lost in a very weak game between both teams that weren't the strongest. Ireland, you know, we've seen the Six Nations tournament. It wasn't hard. In fact, in their first game, England beat Ireland 32-20 points. So it's not a great memory this last time these met. And Ireland are going to want revenge. They're going to want to prove that they are on the rise. Joe Schmidt and his boys are going to want to show England what they're made of. And best, Peter O'Mahony, Johnny Sexton, Conor Murray, all those greats are going to want to prove why they are still as good as they were last year, and that their time is right now and their streak and run is going to be right now. So that they're going to want to prove. As for England, they have been on a rise, you know, slowly going there, little dips, but they have been improving since the Six Nations, and I think not everyone's giving them the credit they actually deserve. So I think it's going to be one hell of a contest between these two teams. You're playing at Twickenham. I mean, come on. We know the electricity. We know the stadium. We know the gears. The crowd sings all game, and it's electrifying. So it's going to be one hell of a game. And it's going to act as, obviously, a big Rugby World Cup warm-up. Because England need to redeem themselves from the previous World Cup, where they didn't even make it out of the group stage. Ireland are wanting to break the curse of getting past those quarterfinals. There's a lot on the line for these two teams in this Rugby World Cup, and they're going to be wanting to silence their critics and show the world what they're made of. Because if they don't, it's just going to go back to where it was. And if there's any opportunity for either of these teams to either win the World Cup or get far in this World Cup, it is now. I said it in yesterday's video, the odds are high, or the odds are unpredictable. This is going to be the most competitive Rugby World Cup in history. And both teams are going to be wanting to prove a point, and both teams are going to be wanting to end off with a bang. Now, England and Ireland have contested a total of 134 times in their test match careers since their first meeting in 1875. That's a hell of a long time ago. None of us would even have thought then. England have won 77 of those games, whilst Ireland have only won 49 test matches. There's also been 8 draws between these two teams in that time. So, although England's got the upper hand, we have seen a total transformation in Ireland rugby in the past 2 years. Yes, they've been a bit rusty this year, but still, we can't forget what they achieved last year, beating the All Blacks, beating Australia in Australia, winning the Grand Slam Six Nations Championship, while England were 5th in the Six Nations last year. Obviously, tides have changed. England got 2nd, if I'm not mistaken, and Ireland 3rd. So, it turned. England beat them in this first Six Nations game. So, there's a lot on the line. There's a lot of critics to prove from. So, for me, this is going to be absolutely incredible contests to look forward to. And I can't wait to see what happens between these two magnificent nations. It's a game I'm looking forward to most this weekend. Obviously, I want to see Scotland beat France, but I want to see a quality game of rugby between England and Ireland. And if that can be done, this World Cup has just been thrown all over, and that excites me even more. So, as for predictions, going into this game, I think England are going to come in hell's blazing. Then we're going to see Ireland fight back in that first half and really prove a point and show what they're made of. And then I think we're going to see England come back and maybe just sneak it. The reason I'm saying England to win is because of home advantage. I just think they're going to have that little bit of extra edge on them, as they know their preparations, they know their team, they know what they want to achieve already. So for me, I think England's going to go there with a lot of confidence and take this game and win it. It's not going to be by much. I'm going to go 5 points, 5 or less. And if Ireland win, that will be absolutely amazing. In fact, it's going to again throw this tournament all over. If Ireland win this weekend, they become number 1 in the world. So it's a lot for Ireland to play on this weekend. If England win, they go back to 4th. New Zealand will stay 2nd. So it's an interesting weekend going on, unless England thump Ireland, which I don't see is going to happen. So a lot of the line for these teams, a lot of pressure on the line as well, therefore making it one hell of an exciting rugby games coming up this weekend, and I can't wait to see what happens. So that's going to do it for the 2 big game predictions this weekend. It should be absolutely unbelievable, and I cannot wait to see what happens. As usual, in the comment section, let me know your predictions down below. Who do you think is going to win? France or England? France or Scotland? Or England or Ireland? Who's going to win? I'm going France, hoping Scotland, and England. But won't be sad if Ireland win, because I've got a lot of time for them too. So it's going to be an awesome weekend. I can't wait. So let me know your thoughts. Join me on the live stream. Hit that subscribe button. I will send out a notification on Saturday morning, South African time. Probably night time for the Aussie and the New Zealand guys who want to come join in. And we will see you then. I can't wait. It's going to be a stream to remember. And the crowd that were there on Saturday are going to be back again. So make sure you're subscribed. Thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, stay safe and never give up. Cheers.